Book 5, Lesson 1. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information below. Feeding the hummingbirds. Hello, my name is Noah, and I am going to talk about feeding the hummingbirds. I generally don't feed wild animals, but I keep a hummingbird feeder hung in a small tree in our garden. Especially during the winter months, it is sometimes hard for hummingbirds to find enough to drink. The hummingbird feeder is filled with a cup of water and 1/3 cup of sugar. However, yesterday I noticed that the hummingbirds seemed to be having trouble getting a drink from the feeder. When I went outside to take a closer look, I saw that the water inside was frozen. Oh no! I took the feeder into the house, melted the ice, and replaced it with fresh water. Soon the hummingbirds started coming back. From now on, I am going to check to make sure that the water in the feeder has not frozen. Lesson 2. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information below. Hi, my name is Violet, and I am going to talk about some things that I don't really like. I actually like most kinds of food, but I don't like the taste of pears. I think they are the only kind of fruit I don't like. As for drinks, milk is really the only one I don't like. Water is fine, and I love fruit juices, but I just can't stand milk. I know most people love hot, sunny days, but really, hot sun makes me feel uncomfortable. I am a very sporty person, but I find baseball to be really boring. And finally, housework isn't my favorite thing, but I really don't like vacuuming. I find it so boring, and I don't like the sound of the vacuum cleaner. Lesson 3. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information below. Owl in the night. Hi, I'm Arnold, and I am going to talk about the owl that lives in my neighborhood. There is a large barred owl that lives in the forest near my house. My family and I call her Mrs. Owl. Sometimes at night, when everything is quiet, I hear her hooting and screeching. Owls make these kinds of noises when they are excited about something. So she is probably hunting for animals such as mice and small birds late at night. Sometimes, when I am taking my dog for a walk, I see her sitting in a tree. She seems to be a little scared of my dog because she often flies away when she sees him. Even though I know what is making these sounds that I hear at night, it is still rather eerie, and it is sometimes so loud that it wakes me up. Are there any strange sounds in the night in the area where you live? Lesson 4. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information below. Hello, my name is Roberta, and I am going to talk about some things that I haven't done. I love spicy food, but I have never tried Indian curry. I think I would really like it, so I want to try it. I have watched basketball many times, but I have never tried playing it. It looks really fun. There are many mountains near the city where I live, and I have heard that there are many great places to hike, but I have never tried it. This is also on my list of things to do. As for traveling, I would really like to visit France someday. I love French food, and I am learning to speak French. Finally, I think it would be really cool to see a shooting star. My parents have seen many of them, and they have told me that it is an amazing experience. Lesson 5. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information below. Secret Valentine. Hello, my name is Tamsin, and I am going to talk about my secret Valentine. I live in Canada, and in my country, as well as many others, February 14th is Valentine's Day. On this day, students are supposed to give special cards to their classmates. These cards usually have pink or red hearts on them, and a message of love or friendship. However, in my class, we did something called Secret Valentine. The names of everyone in the class are put into a hat, and each student takes out a name without looking. The person whose name you pick is your secret Valentine. I picked a girl named Sienna. I don't know her well, but she seems like a nice girl. I know she likes cats, so I made a big pink heart with a picture of a cat on it. I hope she likes it. Maybe we can become friends. I wonder who picked my name and what he or she will make for me. I can't wait to find out. Lesson 6, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information below. Hello, my name is Jenny, and I am going to talk about things that are not in my plans. First of all, I am scared of speaking in front of many people, so I don't plan on becoming an actress. I love school, so I don't plan on missing school next week or any other week. I am scared of heights, so I don't ever want to go bungee jumping. I like quiet places, but I think it would be really boring to live on a small island, so I don't think I would like to live on one. And finally, I didn't think I would ever travel to Mexico, but my family and I went there on vacation last spring break. We had a great time. Lesson 7, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information below. A dog in the school. Hello, my name is Mia, and I am going to tell you about a funny thing that happened with my dog, Max. Every day, my dad walks with me to school, and we bring Max with us. It is a good opportunity for all of us to get some exercise. Last Monday, we got to the school a little bit early. There was another dog running around, so my dad let Max off his leash. However, just then the school door opened. When Max saw the open door, he ran into the school. Many children were laughing and yelling. My dad went into the school to try to catch Max, who was running up and down the hallway. Then he ran into one of the classrooms. The teacher and the students were very surprised. Max was finally caught by my dad when he tried to run back out into the hallway. My dad was a little angry, but he was also laughing. It was a very funny situation. Lesson 8, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the information below. Hi, I am Emma, and I would like to talk about negative predictions, or things that I don't think will happen. Of course, we never know when an emergency will happen, but I don't think a fire will happen at my school. Also, the winters in my city are quite warm, so I don't think a snowstorm will happen this year. I am very interested in space travel, but I don't think people will live on other planets in my lifetime. If this happens, I think it will be hundreds of years from now. Right now, it is February, which is the cool season. So I don't think a heat wave will happen next month. And finally, my grandparents live very far from me, so I don't think they will visit me next month. Lesson 9, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information below. A great way to make extra money. Hello, my name is Blake, and I am in grade 5. I am going to talk about a great way to make some extra money. A couple of months ago, my sister Evelyn and I heard that there was a paper route available in our neighborhood. So we called the phone number and got the job. We were very excited because it is the first job either of us has ever had. 3 times a week, on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, we deliver 80 newspapers in our neighborhood. My sister and I divide the papers quite evenly, but I do a little more than her because I am a year older than her. It is an interesting job and a great way to get some extra exercise. The only problem is that there is a house that sometimes has a big, scary-looking dog in the yard. When the dog is there, I just throw the paper into the yard and then run away. Every 2 weeks, we get paid and use our money to buy things like toys and games or to save up for something bigger. Lesson 10, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Danielle, and I am going to talk about not worrying about things. Everybody worries about things sometimes, but if you worry too much, you can't get enough work done. I never worry about tests at school because I just study hard and then do my best. I also don't worry about the future because there is nothing I can do to stop it. So there is no point in worrying about it. I also think it is really silly to worry about things we can't control, such as the weather, because there is nothing we can do about it. I think it is much better to work hard and do your best at everything than to worry about things. Lesson 11, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Raising money for a class field trip. Hello, my name is Charlie. Last month, our teacher, Mrs. Johnson, told us that she wanted to take us on a field trip to a museum. However, the problem was that it is expensive to take a school bus there, and also expensive to pay for admission to the museum. In order to try overcoming this problem, I suggested that we collect bottles which we can take to the bottle depot in exchange for money. Our teacher thought this was a great idea, so we started collecting bottles from our homes, or neighbors, our friends, and wherever we could find them. Soon we were all amazed at how much money we had made. In fact, we made more money than we need for the field trip. So we are also going to have an afternoon when we watch a movie in our classroom and eat popcorn and other tasty snacks. Why don't you try collecting bottles? It's a great way to raise money for something that you want. Lesson 12, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Wilma, and I am going to talk about not wasting energy. Personally, I have gotten into the habit of turning off the lights when I leave a room. I also try not to use so much water, and I think this is a way that a lot of people could save energy. I know that not everyone has a fireplace, but those who do should use it as much as possible in winter instead of a heater. Another great energy saver is using public transportation instead of cars whenever possible. Saving energy is always a great idea because you are helping the earth. Lesson 13, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Why we don't need zoos. Hello, my name is Tom, and I am going to talk about why we don't need zoos. When I was a small child, my parents took me to visit a zoo. At first, it was fun, but I soon started feeling sad at seeing all the animals in cages. I felt that it was like a kind of jail for the animals. When I told my parents this, they were a little surprised, but happy that I had come to this conclusion by myself. I really don't think it is worth having so many animals locked up just so that people can stare at them. If people want to see these animals so badly, they can go to see them in their natural habitat. In zoos, we are not seeing animals as they typically behave, but rather how they behave when they are sad and in an artificial environment. I would much rather learn about animals by watching a documentary about them or going to find them for myself in the wilderness. Lesson 14. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Larry, and I am going to talk about working in a group. I think the biggest advantage of working in a group is that you can learn how to work well with others. On the other hand, a big disadvantage can be that the group members are not able to agree with each other. I think the best number for group work is 3, because I find that bigger groups have too much trouble making everyone happy. I really believe that some people prefer to work alone because they find it so hard to get along with other people. The last time I worked with a group was last week. Luckily, we got along very well and there were no problems. Lesson 15, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. A trip to the nature sanctuary. Hello, my name is Ellen, and I am going to talk about my trip last Sunday to the nature sanctuary near where I live. For those of you who don't know, a nature sanctuary is similar to a park, but no domestic animals, dogs, cats, etc., are allowed to go there. I was a little disappointed to hear this, because we have a dog who loves being outside. But it was a good experience anyway. In the nature sanctuary, there is a big lake and a hill from the top of which there are amazing 360-degree views of my city. While we were walking around the lake, we saw river otters, eagles, frogs, European wall lizards, and various other small creatures in their natural habitat. It was much better than visiting a sad, depressing zoo. I want to go there again sometime, but I better not tell my dog because he might be jealous. Lesson 16, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Alan, and I am going to talk about working alone. One of the biggest advantages of working alone is that you can set your own schedule. On the other hand, one of the biggest disadvantages is that you have nobody to share ideas with. I am somebody who usually likes to make decisions by myself. So sometimes I like to work alone. I also think that time spent working alone on a project can help you become more organized. However, it is also true that we all need to interact with others sometimes, so working alone may not always be a good idea. Lesson 17. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Spending time in the library. Hello, my name is Johnny, and I am going to talk about spending time in the library. Last Saturday afternoon was very windy and rainy, so it seemed like a great time to go to the library down the street with my mom. I also needed to find some books for a school project on orcas that I'm doing. The librarian was very helpful, and I was able to find a lot of information about orcas. In fact, I found a quiet corner in the library and got most of my project completed. After that, I looked for some books from an adventure series I have been reading recently. Luckily, I found the final 2 books in the series. I can't wait to read them. Lastly, I signed out a few DVDs about animals. I love learning about the lives of various kinds of animals. It was a great trip to the library. Lesson 18. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Sheila, and I am going to talk about making new friends. I think one of the best ways to make new friends is to talk to many different people. Of course, this is difficult for a lot of people because they are shy, and I think that's why making friends is sometimes difficult. I also think a lot of people avoid making new friends because they think the other person won't like them. While I'm sure that making friends is easier when 2 people have things in common, I think it is always a good idea to try making new friends because it helps to develop social skills, which are very important at all stages of life. Lesson 19, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. A walk in the park. Hello, my name is Melissa, and I am going to talk about going for a walk in the park with my teacher and classmates. There is a beautiful park called Marigold Park, which is only about a 15-minute walk from my school. About once every 2 weeks, we walk there together as a class. In the park, there are towering Douglas fir and cedar trees, as well as a nice little network of trails. Our class is learning about different species of trees, plants, and animals. So when we go to Marigold Park, we try to identify as many of the ones we've learned about as we can. We also do breathing and meditation exercises at the park. If you have never tried these exercises, I strongly recommend them as they are a great way to help you relax. At first, my friends and I thought it was a bit weird, but now we always look forward to our trip to the park. Lesson 20. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Matilda, and I am going to talk about communicating. Personally, I most commonly communicate with friends and family by talking with them face to face. However, in this busy world, I think this is becoming less and less common. When I am not face to face with the person I want to communicate with, I often use email. There is no doubt that email is very convenient, but it can also be impersonal. It is sometimes hard to tell how someone is feeling just by reading an email. I also think talking on the telephone is a little strange because although you can hear the other person's tone of voice, you can't actually see their face. A kind of communicating that I have never tried is sending smoke signals. This is a very old form of communicating, and it sounds very difficult, but I would like to try it for fun sometime. Lesson 21, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. A birthday sleepover. Hello, my name is Bella, and I am going to talk about my birthday sleepover. Last weekend, I turned 10 years old, and my birthday celebration was a lot of fun. However, in the time leading up to my birthday, I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. In the past, I've had some big parties to which I have invited many friends. These parties were fun, but I felt like there were too many people, and I didn't have time to spend with each of my friends because we were too busy doing group activities. So this year, I invited only 2 of my best friends for a pizza party and sleepover. My friends Evelyn and Isla arrived around 4 p.m. so that we had some time to play before dinner. At around 5 o'clock, we went into the kitchen to put the toppings on our pizzas. While we waited for the pizzas to bake in the oven, we played some card games. At around 5:30, the pizzas were ready and we had dinner. After dinner, we had chocolate peanut butter birthday pie. It was really delicious. After dinner, we spent time playing games and chatting until bedtime. Actually, we continued talking well after bedtime. It was a really fun birthday. Lesson 22. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Sheldon, and I am going to talk about helping other people. There are many ways to help others, but I think one of the best ways is simply to listen to others talk about their problems and try to help them find solutions. Personally, I recently helped my dad clean the backyard. It wasn't so much fun, but I know he really appreciated the help. My friend Jerry recently helped me do some research at the library. He works part-time at the library, so he is good at doing research. I think many people don't ask for help because they feel too embarrassed. But if you don't ask, people can't help you. One of the most helpful people I know is my mom. She is always devoting time to helping others. She is so generous. Lesson 23. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Big Buddies. Hello, my name is Gabriel, and I am going to talk about the Big Buddy program at my school. When I was in kindergarten and grade 1, my class was paired with a grade 5 class, and each student was given a big buddy to work with. A big buddy is someone who reads and does art projects with you, and generally acts like an older sibling. I used to always look forward to big buddy time because I felt like I could ask my big buddy anything, and he would do his best to help me. Now that I am in grade 5, my role has been reversed, and I am a big buddy myself. I really enjoy helping my little buddy learn. Last week, we did a research project in the library in which we presented a report about an animal. We chose to do a report about wolves. It was a lot of fun working on the project together. Lesson 24. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Lucy, and I am going to talk about acts of kindness. There are many acts of kindness, but probably the most common one I see is people buying tea and coffee for strangers. I don't drink tea or coffee, but an act of kindness I did recently was when there was a lot of snow. I shoveled my neighbor's driveway. She thanked me very much. Last week, I was in the library signing out some books when I accidentally dropped many of them on the floor. A kind man helped me pick them up. I was very grateful to him. I always feel good about myself after doing an act of kindness, and I think they are very important because they make the world a happier place. Lesson 25, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Being grateful. Hello, my name is Haley, and I am going to talk about being grateful. Until recently, I don't think I really understood what this actually means. However, after reading about some major world events at school, such as the French Revolution, I have a new appreciation of my life. I read that during the French Revolution, most people were so poor that they protested to the king and queen about the lack of bread that was available to eat. Having read accounts such as that, I now realize how lucky I am to have the basic necessities of life: enough to eat and drink, a roof over my head, a loving family, and access to a good education. There are many children in the world lacking some or even all of these basics of life. So the next time you find yourself complaining about something, ask yourself if it is really worth complaining about. If you have the basics of life that I have talked about, you have more than a lot of people. Lesson 26. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Zoe, and I am going to talk about improving ourselves. Of course, there are many ways to improve ourselves, but I think one of the best ways is to practice as much as possible. Something that I have improved at a lot since the beginning of this year is swimming. That is because I have taken classes and practiced 4 times a week. It hasn't been easy, but I have done it. In school, I would like to improve at math. I am not so bad, but I am not naturally good at it. My mom has helped me improve in many ways. She is very patient and a great teacher. I think it is often easier to improve at something when we work together with a friend, because you can help and encourage one another. Lesson 27. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Exploring tide pools. Hello, my name is Ethan. One of my favorite things about going to the seashore on the weekend is exploring tide pools. Some of you may not know what a tide pool is, so I will tell you. They are small bodies of water, some smaller than a bathtub, that are formed when the tide goes out and leaves some seawater and creatures behind. It is really interesting to look into a tide pool and try to find as many life forms as possible. An hour or so north from my home by car, there is a place called Botanical Beach. This beach has the most amazing tide pools I have ever seen. Some of the pools are huge, more than 4 meters across and 2 meters deep. Big holes in sandstone hold the water. However, what is most amazing is what you see when you look into the tide pools. For example, starfish of various colors and sizes, mussels, crabs, clams, oysters, and sea urchins are just some of the things that are often visible in a tide pool. Sometimes there are even larger creatures, such as jellyfish or flounders. Each tide pool is like its own little world. Lesson 28. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is William, and I am going to talk about making decisions. I think it is sometimes difficult for many people to make decisions because both options sound so good and they are afraid of making the wrong choice. I recently had to make a decision about whether or not to continue playing soccer. Finally, I decided to continue. Soon, I will have to decide what camps I want to join this summer. There are so many to choose from, and I can't go to all of them. I recently decided to keep attending the same school. That was an easy decision because I love my school. Many decisions are difficult, but I don't think it is a good idea to make a decision when you are tired, because it is hard to think clearly. Lesson 29, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. New to you. Hello, my name is Flora, and I am going to talk about a great new class activity that my teacher started last week in my class. The idea is for all of us to bring toys and books that we no longer want from home and put them in a trading box in the classroom. If a student sees something that he or she wants in the box, they can find out who it belongs to and offer to trade something of theirs for the toy or book that they want. What is so great about this activity is that it doesn't involve buying anything. Everything that is brought in and traded is stuff from home that isn't wanted anymore. So it is actually helping people get rid of clutter while allowing kids to get stuff which is new to them. Why not try a program like this in your classroom? Lesson 30. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hi, my name is Jillian, and I once fell into a huge fish tank. This is probably the strangest thing that has ever happened to me. I was at an aquarium looking into it from above when I lost my balance. At least I am a good swimmer. One time at school, I fell asleep. I hadn't slept well the night before, and I was certainly tired. But this was unexpected. A really scary thing that once happened to a friend was she got hit by lightning while walking home from school. She was in hospital for a long time, but thankfully she recovered. I once read about a farmer who said that a spaceship landed beside his house and little creatures came out and looked around. I have no idea if this is true or not. And finally, I used to think that drinking almond milk is strange, but now I like it. In fact, I now think that drinking cow's milk is kind of strange. Lesson 31, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Learning by doing. Hello, my name is Tanner, and I am going to talk about learning by doing. We often hear that practice makes perfect, and I strongly believe this. A great example is when I took bike riding lessons at a community center last summer. The instructors were all really nice, friendly, and patient. However, at the end of the course, I still couldn't ride my bike by myself. I think this is because the instructors helped us a little too much. They always held our bikes upright to make sure we didn't fall. But I think this prevented many of us from balancing on our own. I felt really frustrated. However, every day after the lessons ended, I practiced with either my mom or dad, and gradually I got to the point where I could pedal on my own. I felt a real sense of accomplishment. Of course, teaching is important, but in this case, I had learned by doing. Now, whenever I get frustrated at not being able to do something, I remember how I learned to ride a bike by practicing over and over again. Lesson 32, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Jane, and I am going to talk about not giving up. There are, of course, many challenges in life, but I really believe that it is important to never give up because dealing with adversity makes you a stronger person. I think one of the main reasons why people give up when trying new things is simply the fact that they lack confidence. They are probably more capable of succeeding than they believe. And because of this, I also believe it is important to embrace challenges. Nothing is sustainable if it isn't fun. So having fun with new things is absolutely essential. If everyone gave up really easily all the time, nothing would ever get done. Personally, I am really glad I didn't give up when I was learning to play soccer, because now it is my favorite sport. Lesson 33, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Making soup. Hello, my name is Josh, and I am going to talk about making soup. I am still not able to make soup by myself, but I really enjoy helping my mom. First, we go to the supermarket to buy the ingredients we need for the soup. Some of the ingredients we need are ground beef, carrots, celery, potatoes, onions, beef broth, canned tomatoes, garlic, and barley. I cannot use a knife yet, so my mom cuts all the vegetables into tiny pieces. Then we brown the beef into a big pot. After a few minutes, we add the onions and garlic. Then, after a few more minutes, we add all the other ingredients. And after bringing the mixture to a boil, we turn down the heat and let it simmer for about 2 hours. It needs to simmer for a long time so all the flavors can mingle together. It is important to taste it after about an hour to see how it tastes. At this point, we sometimes add a little salt and pepper. When the soup is ready, we serve it hot with lots of crusty bread. It is especially nice to have on a cold winter night. Lesson 34, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hi, my name is Mandy, and I am going to talk about saving money. I think one of the best ways to save money is to trade things like books and toys with your friends instead of buying new things. Personally, I sometimes spend too much money on candy. When I do this, I feel a little angry at myself because I really feel like I am wasting money. What I really want to save my money for is a dollhouse. I have wanted a good one for as long as I can remember. However, they are expensive. The last thing I bought with my own money was a beautiful necklace. It is really beautiful. Many of my friends want to save their money to buy video games, but I am not interested. When I play video games, I feel like I am wasting my time. Lesson 35, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. A non-sleepover. Hello, my name is Alice, and I am going to talk about the non-sleepover that happened on my birthday. When my parents asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday, I decided that I wanted to invite my friends Evelyn and Isla over for a sleepover. They thought this sounded like an exciting idea, and we were all really looking forward to it. However, before the party, Evelyn said she was sorry, but she couldn't sleep over because she was on a swimming team, and she had to be at the swimming pool early the next morning. I said that was okay, and she still came to my party. We played for a while before dinner, and then we ate broccoli soup and pizza and cupcakes for dessert. Then it was time for Evelyn to leave. Isla and I had a good time together. But at about 9 p.m., shortly before bedtime, she said she felt too scared to sleep over. So we called her mom, and she came to pick Isla up. It was a fun party, but it turned out to be a non-sleepover. Lesson 36, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hi, my name is Charlie, and I am going to talk about future inventions. I think one of the most amazing future inventions will be one that allows us to teleport to various places. It would be so incredible to suddenly be somewhere you really want to be. I also think advances in space technology will allow us to visit Mars in the not too distant future. I really hope an invention is made which allows us to jump super high. Similarly, I think a really fun invention would be one that allows us to fly like a bird. As far as household inventions go, I think a robot that does all the housework will be invented. I can't wait to find out which of these turns out to be true. Lesson 37, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. The Ice Cream Adventure. Hi, my name is Colin, and I am going to talk about the ice cream adventure that my family and I went on last weekend. There is a small ice cream shop downtown that we love. It is a little more expensive than most other ice cream shops, but it makes the best ice cream I have ever tried. The name of the ice cream shop is Cold Comfort, and they make some very unique flavors. One of my favorite flavors of theirs is sour cherry and rosemary. I also love their bacon and buttermilk. I thought these flavors sounded a little strange when I first heard of them, but I can't get enough of them. As I said, the shop is very small. Only about 6 people can fit inside at one time. However, every time we go there, it is an adventure because they always have interesting new flavors that we have never tried before. My cousins also love ice cream, so I want to take them there when they visit me in the summer. Lesson 38, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Debbie, and I am going to talk about sleeping. I think it is really important to get enough sleep, because without enough sleep, we can't function properly. And like many other people, when I don't get enough sleep, I feel irritable. The slightest thing can make me angry. Sometimes I don't get enough sleep because I am worried about something. And of course, not sleeping makes my problem even worse. Other times, I wake up at night because of loud noises. When this happens, I find it really hard to get back to sleep. However, I usually get about 8 hours of sleep, and that seems like about the right amount for me. Lesson 39, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Try it. You may like it. Hi, my name is Alex, and when I was younger, I was what is known as a picky eater. I didn't like a lot of fruit and vegetables, and there were very few foods that I would eat without complaining. However, as I have gotten a little older, I realize that I don't need to be so picky. In fact, I can say with some confidence that there are some foods I didn't give much of a chance. For example, I now love avocado, and I can't understand how I used to claim that I couldn't stand it. The same is true about tomatoes and green peppers. Just last week, at my aunt's house, I ate a salad with all these vegetables in it, and I loved it. I think a lot of very young children get wrong ideas about what something tastes like, and this is how they become picky. Even if you tried something when you were younger and didn't like it, I recommend coming back to it and trying it again. You may be pleasantly surprised. I am convinced that over time, people's tastes change. Lesson 40. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hi, my name is Margaret, and I am going to talk about studying. No matter what subject I am studying, I find that I study best early in the morning. In fact, I find it difficult to study at night. I feel too sleepy to concentrate. I like studying science the best, and I would especially like to study more about animals in the future. I love all kinds of animals, wild and domestic. I most recently studied math this morning. It was okay, but I still like science better. Lesson 41. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Pink Shirt Day. Hello, my name is Bruce, and I am going to talk about Pink Shirt Day. Today is Pink Shirt Day at my school and at many other schools around the world. The significance of wearing a pink shirt today is to raise awareness and to combat and get rid of bullying. If you are not sure what bullying is, it is any form of violence or discrimination against someone based on their gender, race, or religious beliefs. wearing a pink shirt is a show of support and acceptance towards those who are different from you in a myriad of possible ways. This idea originated in Canada in 2007 and has now spread to nearly every country in the world. Lesson 42. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Jill, and I am going to talk about rewarding yourself. After studying a lot, I sometimes watch videos on YouTube. This helps me wind down and relax. And after working a lot, I sometimes play a few video games. However, when doing this, I limit myself to 30 minutes. Sometimes, if I do really well on a test, I get a chocolate bar from my dad. Because of this, I always try my best. In times when I feel really stressed, I like to sing. This really helps to calm me down. However, when all is said and done, I really believe that doing a good job at something is the best reward for me. It gives a great feeling of satisfaction. Lesson 43. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Plastic is not garbage. Hi, I am Jenny, and I'm going to talk about plastic. You have probably read that an incredible amount of plastic ends up in garbage dumps, and even worse, in the ocean, where it is sometimes consumed by aquatic life. Countless seabirds and various creatures that inhabit the oceans of the world have been killed by ingesting plastics. However, this doesn't need to happen. If people are made to realize that plastic is not garbage, we can greatly reduce its harmful effects. What I'm talking about is repurposing plastic rather than throwing it away. In recent times, many countries are making their money out of plastic. Plastic and plastic products can also be used in making clothing, reusable bags, and a multitude of other products. However, too many people are not in the habit of repurposing or upcycling plastics, so the problem continues. So the next time you find yourself throwing away something made of plastic, make sure you take it to a recycling depot instead. Lesson 44. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hi, my name is Arnold, and I am going to talk about the world today. First of all, I think the world is much more convenient than it was 100 years ago, because we are able to get around and travel so much easier. However, I think it is also much more stressful because the pace is so much faster. I really wish the people of the world were more understanding towards one another. And I hope the world becomes more united in the future. I think the biggest problem in the world today is greed. Too many people think only of themselves and don't give others a second thought. If we are to survive as a species, this needs to change. Lesson 45. Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Donating to the thrift store. Hi, my name is Jackson, and I want to talk about donating to the thrift store. I'm 10 years old and growing very quickly, so most of the clothes I am wearing now won't fit me 1 year later, or even less. Because kids grow out of their clothes so fast, it makes sense to be able to get clothes for free or very cheaply. That is one of the main reasons why thrift stores are so great. When I grow out of my clothes, my mom or dad takes them to the thrift store. Then they can be used by someone who needs them, and I can get some clothes in my new size. Like I said, these clothes are sold very cheaply, or sometimes if you donate enough clothes, you can get other ones for free. Buying brand new clothes so often gets very expensive. The thrift store is only about a 10-minute drive from our house, and we go there about once a month. I always look forward to going there. Lesson 46. Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hi, my name is Amy, and I am going to talk about live events. I play on a soccer team, and it is my favorite sport. So I would be interested in watching a live soccer match in a stadium. I recently saw the Chinese New Year parade live in my city. It was a lot of fun to attend. However, I am not interested in watching a classical music concert live because I find this kind of music a little boring. Maybe when I'm older, I will enjoy it. One of the most popular live events in my city is the Jazz Festival. I think most live events are fun and exciting, but the biggest problem with them is that they are sometimes really crowded. Lesson 47, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. A hike around the lakes. Hello, my name is Richard, and I am going to talk about hiking around the lakes near my house. There are two beautiful lakes that are only about a 10-minute drive from my house. Sometimes we go there on the weekend for a hike. It is a great place to go with our dog because we can all get some exercise and look at some wonderful scenery. It takes about 45 minutes to hike around one lake and about an hour and a half to hike around both lakes. We all love it because it is usually not too crowded and there are many places to stop and eat. Dogs can also be off-leash here, so they can run around and explore. One of the lakes has a nice sandy beach, which is great for relaxing on in the summer. The water is a very nice temperature for swimming in the summer, too. Unfortunately, dogs aren't allowed on the beach during the summer. Lesson 48, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Sophie, and I am going to talk about words. As someone who loves reading and writing, I love words. A word that I recently learned the meaning of is unbearable. This word means something that you really hate or can't stand. A long word that I know the meaning of is enthusiastic. Someone who is enthusiastic is very excited about something. One of my favorite words is skookum. Not only do I like the sound of it, but it means wonderful or great. In terms of pronunciation, a word that I find difficult to pronounce is synonym. This word refers to words that have the same or a similar meaning. And finally, I think the word ridiculous sounds really funny. Some of you probably know that this word means totally crazy or making no sense. Lesson 49, Part 1. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. A trip to the countryside. Hello, my name is Vaughn, and I live in a big city. It is an exciting place to live, and there is a lot to do here. However, sometimes on the weekend, my family and I like to get away from the city and drive out to the countryside. About an hour north by car from our city, there is a very beautiful area with a lot of rolling hills and farms. We love visiting this area because it is full of farms that sell all kinds of healthy, organic produce. At these places, we can buy everything from fresh bread and cheese to vegetables and homemade pasta. The people in the countryside are also really friendly. Unlike most people in the city who always seem to be in a hurry to get somewhere, these people always have time to chat and share stories. Maybe someday we will move to the countryside because we love it there so much. Lesson 50, Part 2. Listen to the recorded text and fill in the missing information. Hello, my name is Amanda, and I am going to talk about home. I like all the rooms in my home, but I like my bedroom the best because it is so comfortable and it is also the quietest room in the house. Like my parents' bedroom, there is a beautiful view of the ocean. My home is not so big, and there are only 2 levels, but I like it very much. It is just right for my family and I.